We started out pretty ambitious with our design, our concept, and the capabilities we wanted to have for this. And so once we started to rein it in, we started dealing with the logistics issues of it, and I think we came up with some really good ideas here. First, we'll start off with the initial concepts. The central one here, that's like the most extravagant idea we had, is not very practical. It's a full-size human being rendered in like Ficus Spark, and it's, you know, again, it's just not logistically feasible at this point. I mean, maybe if we had several decades, we could create a sculpture like this, but no. We also started reining in and deciding what we wanted to do, what we didn't want to do, and that kind of nixed this bottom design here, which which was all about incorporating like all the different all sorts of different sensory feedback. And there's portions of the plan, as you can see, that are centered around touch, hearing, sight. And some of the stuff was just not necessary. We were able to parse it down. The design we all kind of liked the best was this one on the upper left here. It's kind of inspired by Japanese tree spirit. If you ever seen Princess Mononoke, you know, it's the guys with little rattly heads. What we got here is we got like a central spherical shape with plants growing out of it, and several ports in it. One for a microphone, one for a motion sensor, and one for a speaker. Really basic, very streamlined, very aesthetically pleasing. All these designs were kind of based on the idea of something like growing off of a wall, growing out of a building, growing out of refuse or something like that, kind of like a parasitic plant of some kind. And we got into issues with the construction of it, and also logistics issues when it came to what the locations would and would not allow us to do. And a lot of them, the bottom line is they don't want anything touching their building. They don't want it interacting with their building in any way, shape, or form, even if it's not in a permanent way. It kind of put a damper on things because, again, we kind of want this to be almost like a supernatural experience. We want this to be a fully immersive installation. And the idea of putting it on a pedestal or a podium or in any way encapsulating it like that it was prohibitive. It was not, part of the, it was not part of the vision. So we had to figure out some excellent ways to get around it. Here we have the round 2 concept. It's morphed into more of a facial shapes, kind of like a small child, I guess, but highly stylized. This is still kind of like a wall creeper. This was at the point where we thought maybe if we had some sort of non-permanent adhesive, like a bendy wire to go around go around the wall, or suction cup hangers or something, that would be okay. But it's not. Once again, the whole thing is self-contained. It's modular, which we feel is very important. We want to be able to take this to different locations. We want to be able to present it in different, what's the word I'm looking for? Different environments, I guess. Let's just go with that and move on. So portability still is something we want. We don't want it grounded. We don't want it in a base. That's that's another thing. So we come across. So finally, I kind of go back to my toy roof design. Here we have the final round 3 concept. You can see these branches here. We're going from something that was very hard and inflexible and just could be wall mounted to different things or mounted to the ground or whatever, to something that's flexible. This is actually made out of latex and silicone. What we have is, if you can look at this cross section here, if you can see that we have galvanized wire running through these branches, which will be latex. They're going to be flexible. We can now put this guy anywhere. We can pose him anywhere. We can put him on the ground, in a corner, in the eaves, on a tree, and it's posable like a toy. It's resilient. It's waterproof because we'll be using outdoor silicone sealant to build the entire thing. It's perfect, really. It also deals with another issue, which was the safety of the art piece in a public location. Is if it's soft, if it's yielding, if it's malleable, it's a lot harder to destroy. So, this is I think this is the most elegant solution. If you can see back here and here, I'll start here. You can see we're kind of figuring out where the sensors and instruments are going to go on it. It's pretty straightforward. Again, speaker, microphone, and motion sensor to set everything off. From the side here, you can see small basins carved into the form itself. We don't want the plants growing up from the ground into it. We want it to all be cohesive. So what we'll actually do is we'll just have the plants growing out of this bulb itself, and they'll be able to go with the sculpture wherever. Yeah. So there you go.